Is there a naked Jennifer Lopez video somewhere? Everybody says you got it and you want to sell it on the internet. Have you seen it?
Have I seen it? I don't know if I'm smiling like I've seen it.
Crying a lot. She was a mess. Probably what was going through her mind is her career flashing before her eyes.
So the die is cast. JLO and Ben Affleck are getting divorced, and we have the proof. We broke a story over the weekend. They are selling the marital mansion they bought almost a year ago to the day.
We all knew that the love story between Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez wasn't as picture perfect as it seemed, but who could have predicted that things would get this bad? Reports have surfaced suggesting that Ben Affleck might be in possession of FBI tapes from the Diddy raids tapes that allegedly involved none other than his wife, Jennifer Lopez.
Have you seen it?
Have I seen it? I don't know if I'm smiling like I've seen it.
The whispers are growing louder and questions are mounting. What do these tapes reveal about JLO's past with Diddy? Did Ben stumble upon something so disturbing that it shook the very foundation of their relationship? Or is it just another Hollywood rumor blown out of proportion? Did Jennifer Lopez witness something during those tumultuous times with Diddy, something that she never spoke about?
Obviously, nobody really wants to be arrested or handcuffed or, go through all that kind of stuff. It's a really traumatic experience.
Could this revelation be linked to any criminal activities or scandals involving Diddy? Let's find out. The entertainment world is buzzing with rumors that Ben Affleck has come into possession of tapes that the FBI collected during their raids on Diddy. These tapes allegedly feature his wife, Jennifer Lopez, in some compromising or at the very least highly sensitive situations. UC Knight has revealed his theory for the cause of the rumors swirling that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are getting a divorce, and it centers around disgraced bad boy music executive Diddy. In a recent episode of his podcast Collect Calls with S.H. Knight, the former Death Row CEO made a series of explosive claims suggesting a bizarre connection between the FBI, Jennifer Lopez, and her estranged husband Ben Affleck. Knight alleged that the FBI handed over tapes incriminating Lopez that were recovered from raids on Diddy's homes in Miami and Los Angeles to Affleck. Knight says the content on the tapes is potentially causing a rift in Affleck's marriage with Lopez. They go raid Puffy's house and they get all these videos of JLO doing this and JLO doing that. Knight started off. Knight rehashed the infamous nightclub shooting incident in 1999 that involved Lopez and Diddy, using it as a reference point to illustrate the erosion of JLO's credibility. Ewake and they know the fact that JLO lied and said that the gun was Shine's or whatever and sent that man to prison, destroyed his life, and she knew it was Puffy's. He said he further insinuated that the FBI decided to notify Affleck about the discovery of the alleged tapes due to the potential impact they could cause should they go public, much like the fallout from Diddy's 2016 hotel assault tape on his ex-girlfriend Cassie. I'm quite sure they probably called, he said, and the FBI gave respect and a courtesy call to Ben Affleck. It's a white man who got respect in the white world. I'm quite sure they said, we want to show you some things about your wife when he seen the ish that her and Puff was doing and who they'd be doing it with. I'm quite sure that they gave his of those tapes, and I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. He went on to suggest that Affleck would be unable to reconcile his feeling for Lopez based on her past actions. After seeing the tapes, I'm quite sure they headed for divorce because that's a man who had a good life. He said great parents don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping off paparazzi. He's living his life. He got his own team. She done brought all the extra is out, and now that MF, he won it up. For context, the story begins with a series of raids conducted by the FBI on Diddy's properties during a time of heightened tension and controversy. The raids, which were part of a larger investigation into criminal activities, reportedly unearthed a treasure trove of information, including tapes that could implicate various celebrities. Among these tapes, rumors suggest, were recordings involving Jennifer Lopez, who was romantically linked with Diddy during that tumultuous period. Fast forward to today, and Ben Affleck finds himself in possession of these tapes. But how did they come into his hands? And what exactly do they reveal? Suge Knight, a notorious figure in the music industry, has claimed that Ben has seen these tapes and that their content is shocking enough to shake the foundation of his marriage with JLO. But what could be on those tapes that would lead to such drastic conclusions? The rumors are rife with speculation. One theory is that the tapes might show JLO witnessing or being aware of illegal activities connected to Diddy. Another is that the tapes captured JLO in intimate or compromising situations accusations, which could tarnish her reputation and strain her relationship with Ben. Could the content be so damaging that led Ben Affleck to question everything about his marriage? To understand the significance of these tapes, we need to revisit the history between JLO and Diddy. You see, once upon a time, Jennifer Lopez was swept off her feet by the charisma of P. Diddy Combs. Their love story seemed like something out of a fairy tale, well, until he scared her for life.
Everybody was booked, including Jennifer Lopez. They spent the night in the precinct.
She was crying a lot. She was a mess.
Now, everything he did when he was with JLO is finally coming out following the ongoing federal investigations against him.
You're looking at live pictures from the home of Sean Combs, also known as Diddy. HSI is on the scene right now. We also do have video from his home in Los Angeles. HSI Los Angeles is on scene there.
Jennifer Lopez and P. Diddy Combs have a history. They met on the set of her music video for If You've Had My Love in 1999 before splitting in 2021 amid rumors. Diddy, then known as Puff Daddy, had been unfaithful, something Lopez later confirmed. The pair were arrested soon after they started dating following a shooting at a Times Square nightclub in December 1999 that left 3 people injured. Lopez was released from custody without being charged after 14 hours in jail, while Diddy later walked free after a 7-week trial, which saw his protege Jamal Shine Barrow, long suspected to be the fall guy, convicted and sentenced to 10 years. In a candid interview with British in July 2000, Lopez opened up about a harrowing experience that shook her world, describing it as a complete nightmare.
Obviously, nobody really wants to be arrested or handcuffed or, go through all that kind of stuff. It's a really traumatic experience.
The aftermath of the shooting incident was not confined to emotional scars alone. Legal battles ensued, amplifying the complexities of an already distressing situation. Notably, in 2008, a staggering lawsuit amounting to $130 million was filed against Combs by one of the victims, seeking reparation for the damages incurred during the incident. Eventually, in 2011, Combs reached a settlement with all 3 individuals, including the victim, the terms of which were kept confidential. The call to reopen the case comes as Combs faces mounting legal trouble. Earlier this year, Homeland Security agents swarmed Combs' homes in Los Angeles and Miami in raids that law enforcement sources told the Post were prompted by allegations. The federal raids on Combs' residences in Los Angeles and Miami have thrust him into a whirlwind of legal turmoil.
We're looking at live pictures from the home of Sean Combs, also known as Diddy. HSI is on the scene right now. We also do have video from his home in Los Angeles. HSI Los Angeles is on scene there.
The federal agent stormed into Diddy's homes 1 month after Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed an explosive lawsuit claiming the music mogul repeatedly essayed him from September 2022 to November 2023, while Jones was a producer and videographer for the billionaire. Jones compared Combs to Jeffrey Epstein and accused the mogul of groping his genitals, grooming him into having sex, and forcing him to procure test workers' drugs. Jones alleged in his suit that Diddy was violent, threatened to eat his face, brandished guns, and most pointedly, was often bragging about bribing witnesses and jurors in the criminal case concerning the 1999 NYC nightclub shooting with Shine. The shooting stemmed from an argument between Diddy and a Brooklyn thug named Matthew Allen, who was nicknamed Scar, but Diddy, his bodyguard Anthony Jones, and Shine Barrow endured a 7-week trial in February and March 2001, which ended with Diddy and Jones walking free, and Barrow, then 21, being convicted on assault and gun possession, sentenced to 10 years in prison. Mystery still surrounds the Club New York shooting, especially for former Detective Parker, who left the so-called hip-hop cop squad at the NYPD and is now into private investigator. In any case, Diddy has been dogged for years by rumors that he made Shine, now known as Moses Michael Lady Barrow, and who is the opposition leader of the House of Representatives, in Bice, take the fall for the incident. The story was that Puff was flossing, which is what they call someone on the streets who's throwing money around and acting like a big shot. Parker said Scar felt disrespected because he felt he was as important as Puff, and words were exchanged, and then bullets started flying. Shots were fired, and Lopez and Diddy fled the club after the shooting in a Lincoln Navigator. Diddy's driver, Wardle Fenderson, later said that he blew past several red lights as they careened down 43rd Street and onto 8th Avenue, weaving past 2 police cars. Shine busted off in the air. Fenderson quoted Lopez as saying before cops pulled them over. Former NYPD Derek Parker told the Post how in the precinct her mother was yelling at JLO in Spanish and she was really mad at Jennifer. I heard her say, "I told you not to get involved with him."
Puffy, The night of the shooting, that was kind of the beginning of the end of their relationship, because it then became dangerous for her career to be involved with him.
Lopez was released from custody without being charged after 14 hours in jail. Nat Hannah Rubin, who was one of the 3 victims in the club shooting, has long insisted that Combs shot her in the face.
I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. I mean, for God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur.
Nat Hannah Rubin, who was hit by a bullet at Club New York when the fight broke out between Diddy's entourage and a thug named Scar, claims that it was Diddy who shot her in the face. He denies it. Staff Jones, in his lawsuit, claims that Diddy openly bragged about committing the shooting and bribing witnesses and jurors to secure his acquittal. Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York. Jones he also alleged that Diddy bragged about using Lopez to smuggle the gun into the club. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka JLO, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. Jones alleged to Diddy was backed by Glenn Beck, who was working security at the club that night and is now a martial arts expert who works with Deadly Art of Survival magazine. Beck testified at the 2001 trial, but told the Post that it appeared the prosecution was hellbent on nailing Diddy and therefore did not ask him about Barrow aka Shine. He called Jones' claims BS and said, "We knew Scar, we knew Shine, he was a wild kid from Brooklyn." Now it looks like Lopez may get a call from Combs' lawyers. An expert told In Touch Weekly that Lopez may possess first-hand knowledge due to the New York City nightclub shooting that she and Combs were a part of in 1999. Jennifer Lopez's presence the night of the shooting incident and then departing in the same vehicle as Combs makes her a witness with first-hand knowledge and could subject her to being subpoenaed to testify under oath. A New York lawyer, Pete Gleon, said if there are any criminal charges or civil claims not outside the statute of limitations, this would likely prove problematic for Lopez. Lopez spoke about past abusive relationships in her 2024 documentary, The Greatest Love Story. Never Told It is unclear which act she was referring to. There were people in my life who said I love you and then didn't do things that were kind of in line with the word love being thrown around, and manhandled like that is not fun. Lopez shared in the Amazon Prime doc, which hit the streaming platform in February 2024. She added, "I mean, I was never in a relationship where I got beat up, thank God, but I've definitely been manhandled and a couple of other unsavory things, rough, disrespectful." Meanwhile, during a recent interview with Channel 5, Billy Shine, the rapper turned politician, took some time to address the infamous shooting involving the Bad Boy Records boss. "It opens wounds when you hear the victim saying that it was Diddy that shot her," Shine told Channel 5. And that was triggered by a lawsuit from a producer, Lil Rod, that produced on the Love album, who is making accusations, and in those accusations, he says that the gentleman confessed to the shooting. Shine, who is now the head of the Biz United Democratic Party, said he is trying to move past the conviction and his subsequent deportation. However, he's relieved that more people are speaking the truth. "Everyone knew all along that I was the fall guy," he continued, "but my political enemies and detractors try to make me into this criminal, but everyone knew that I was a young kid that took the fall. Everyone knew that that was the story. I'm just saying that I maintain my innocence all this time. I didn't get into who did what, but the victim is telling you who did what, and I understand that there are other witnesses." He explained fragments were never removed, so there was never any forensic testing to say who it was, but the victims are vindicating me. Witnesses are vindicating me, but I have moved on. I am not trying to relive that, and so I am appreciative of whatever contributions that Diddy has made to help the people of Vice. I wish him well, and I pray for him, and I pray for the alleged victims. And if it is true, may justice be served, and if it's not, it's a tragedy, because a global icon would have been destroyed. In a 2022 episode of Drink Champs, Shine spoke about his relationship with Diddy following the conviction, saying that he doesn't blame the Bad Boy Records founder for what happened to him. Less than 2 years after the NYC shooting, he was found guilty of 2 counts of assault and reckless endangerment and criminal possession of a weapon. "I don't really blame that on him now as much as I did then," Shine explained in the video, "because I did go through a stage of bitterness. But in retrospect, I blame it more on the lawyers that were advising him, because his lawyers were there to secure a not guilty verdict by any means." Shine continued, "He's a $100 million corporation, and they looked at me as the enemy. This is how many years ago? This is 20-some years ago. Puff is still young, relatively, so he's much younger then, and it's a lot of pressure. He's about to lose everything. I'm about to lose everything. I'm from that. Though Diddy is a musician, but he wasn't from that, so his response shouldn't be expected to be my response."
How do you like them apples? There's not enough liquor in the world for you to get me to say something about that.
I was in a different space. Then in any case, it seems that the past never truly stays in the past, as JLO's actions with Diddy appear to have affected her current happiness with Ben Affleck. You see, on May 15th, a source exclusively revealed to In Touch that Ben and Jennifer were headed for divorce after he moved his belongings out of their shared home. The writing is on the wall. It's over, they're headed for a divorce, and for once, Ben's not to blame. The insider said he's focusing on his work and his kids now. Ben already moved out, and they'll likely have to sell the dream house they spent 2 years searching for. They'll never stop loving each other. But she can't control him, and he can't change her. There's no way it could have lasted. The source continued, they waited almost 2 decades to get back together, but in the end, they just couldn't make it work. They both said they'd matured and learned from their mistakes, but some of the bigger issues that tore them apart the first time remained the same. What's more, TMZ recently reported that Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez are in the process of parting ways, and this includes selling off some of their shared belongings. They are also trying to sell their marital home, all while living separately. The couple, who appear to be estranged, have started selling pieces of art from their $60 million Beverly Hills mansion where they used to live together, according to Page 6. They listed the art and some other unspecified items earlier in June. Collectors have already shown interest in these pieces and have taken a look at what's on offer. The sale of their Beverly Hills mansion and valuable art pieces signifies a significant step in their separation process. This move, coupled with their living arrangements, suggests that they are preparing for a possible divorce. While JLO remains in their shared mansion, Ben's proximity to his children and ex-wife indicates his commitment to maintaining his role as a father during this transition. For the past few weeks, Ben and JLO have been living apart. Ben has been staying at a property in Brentwood, which is close to where his ex-wife, Jennifer Garner, lives with their children, Violet, Finn, and Samuel. On the other hand, JLO has remained in the lavish Beverly Hills mansion that she and Ben bought just last year. Back in May, JLO was spotted house hunting, which was a few weeks before TMZ broke the news that Benfer was trying to sell their house, with a divorce seeming to be the next step. Despite their separation, Ben and Jen have met up several times for family events, visits to their respective offices, and running errands together. They have spent most of the start of the summer apart. Lopez took a trip to Italy without Ben, who stayed back in Los Angeles. In any case, the on-the-floor singer was seen over the weekend touring a $68 million mansion in Beverly Hills, California, which is about 15 minutes from the home she shares with Ben Affleck. Also listed at the same price, Lopez was seen without her wedding ring while checking out the 5-bedroom 7B mansion with her 16-year-old child, Ma, a real estate agent. According to photos obtained by TMZ, the trio began their day with a coffee stop before heading to the 12,294 ST mansion, which includes an infinity edge pool, a home gym, a 1,200-bottle wine cellar, full sports courts, a 10-seat theater, and more. While it's unclear if the wedding planner star liked the modern home, she has extra cash after selling her New York City apartment for $23 million last month. Interestingly, Affleck bought a $2.5 million home in the Pacific Palisades on the same day Lopez finalized her sale. Both real estate deals happened on July 24th, Lopez's birthday, as Lopez celebrated her birthday in the Hamptons with friends. Affleck signed the papers for a 5-bedroom 6B home. The Argo actor's new place is significantly smaller than his and Lopez's 38,000 square foot mansion, which he reportedly never liked because of its size and distance from his children. A source told Entertainment Tonight last week that Ben really likes his new home and feels hopeful about the change, adding that he wanted to move closer to Jennifer Garner and their kids to make co-parenting easier. All in all, in light of the turmoil in her love life, fans are eagerly waiting for JLO to comment on what happened in the 1999 shooting. However, others are convinced that might have forced JLO to sign an NDA. She cannot come forward. I wonder if he had her sign an NDA. She was present when he shot the guy in the club that Shine took the rap for, which means she knows the truth. Maybe that's why she doesn't come out or speak on anything concerning Diddy. One fan commented. A second fan added, I don't believe JLO will speak up against Diddy. She was too scared to rehash what happened. She has healed and moved on. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.